Effective communication, improving communication skill in business and relationships. Effective communication helps us better understand the person of situation and enable us to resolve difference between trust and respect and create environments where creative idea, problem-solving, affection, and caring can flourish. As simple as communication seems much of what we try to communicate to others and what others try to communicate to us gets misunderstood, which can cause conflict and frustration in personal and professional relationships. By learning these effective communication skills, you can better connect with your spouse, kids, friends, and coworkers. What is effective communication? In the information age, we have to send, receive, and process huge number of messages every day. But every effective communication is about more than just exchanging information. It's also about understanding the emotion behind the information. Effective communication can improve relationships at home, work, and in social situations by deepening your connections to others and improving teamwork, decision-making, and problem-solving. It enables you to communicate even negative or difficult message without creating conflict or destroying trust. Effective communication combines a set of skills including nonverbal communication, attentive listening, the ability to manage stress in the moment, and the capacity to recognize and understand your own emotion and those of the person you're communicating with. While effective communication is a learned skill, it is more effective when it's spontaneous rather than formulaic. A speech that is read, for example, rarely has the same impact as a speech that's delivered or appear to be delivered spontaneously. Of course, it takes time and effort to develop these skills and become an effective communicator. The more effective and practice you put in, the more instinctive and spontaneous your communication skill will become. Well, effective communication skills number 1, listening. Listening is one of the most important aspects of effective communication. Successful listening means not just understanding the words of the information being communicated, but also understanding how the speaker feels about what they're communicating. Effective listening can make the speaker feel heard and understood, which can help build a stronger, deeper connection between you. Create an environment where everyone feels safe to express ideas, opinions and feelings, or plan and problem solve in a creative ways. Save time by helping clarifying information, avoid conflict and misunderstandings, relieve negative emotions. When the emotions are running high, if the speaker feels that he or she has been truly heard, it can help to calm them down, relieve negative feelings, and allow for real understanding or problem solving to begin. Tips for effective listening. If your goal is to fully understand and connect with the other person, listening effectively will help often come naturally. If it doesn't, you can remember the following tips. The more you practice them, the more satisfying and rewarding your interaction with others will become. Focus fully on the speaker, his or her body language, and other non-verbal clues. If you are daydreaming, checking text message, or dawdling, you're almost certain to miss non-verbal clues in the conversation. If you find it hard to concentrate on some speakers, try repeating their words over in your head. It'll reinforce the message and help you stay focused. Avoid interruption or trying to react the conversation to your concerns by saying something like, "If you think that's bad, let me tell you what happened to me." Listening is not the same as waiting for your turn to talk. You can concentrate on what someone's saying if you're forming what you're going to say next. Often, the speaker can read your facial expression and know that your mind's elsewhere. Avoid seeming judgmental. In order to communicate effectively with someone, you don't have to like them or agree with their ideas, value, and opinions. However, you do need to set aside your judgment and withhold blame and criticism in order to fully understand a person. The most difficult communication, when successful executed, can lead the most unlikely and profound connection with someone. Show your interest in what's being said, not occasionally smile at the person, and make sure your posture is open and inviting. Encourage the speaker to continue with small verbal comments like yes or mm-hmm. Effective communication skills. Second, nonverbal communication. When we communicate things that we care about, we do some mainly using nonverbal signals. Wordless communication or body language includes facial expression, body movement, and gestures, eye contact, posture, the tone of your voice, and even muscle tension and breathing. The way you look, listen, move, and react to another person tells them more about how you're feeling than your words alone ever can. Developing the ability to understand and use nonverbal communication can help you connect with others, express what you really mean, negative, challenging situation, and build better relationships at home and work. You can enhance effective communication by using open body language, arms uncrossed, standing with an open stance, or sitting on the edge of your seat, and maintaining eye contact with the person you're talking. You can also use body language to emphasize or enhance your verbal message. Patting a friend on the back while complimenting him on his success or example, or profounding your fist to align your message. Tips for improving how you read nonverbal communications. Practice observing people in public place such as shopping mall, bus, train, cafe, restaurant, or even a television show with sound mute. Observing how others use language can teach you how to better receive to use nonverbal signals when conversing with others. Notice how people act and react to each other. Try to guess what their relationship is, what they're talking about, and how each feels about what is being said. Be aware of individual difference. People from different countries and cultures tend to use different nonverbal communication gestures. So it is important to take age, culture, religion, gender, and emotion state into account when reading body language signals. An American teen, a grieving widow, and an Asian businessman, for example, are likely to use nonverbal signals differently. Look at nonverbal communication signals as a group. Don't send too much into a signal gesture or nonverbal clue. Considering all of the nonverbal signals you receive, from eye contact to tone or voice to body language, anyone can slip occasionally and let eye contact slip, for example, or briefly cross their arms without meaning. Consider to signal as a whole to get a better read on a person. Tips for improving how to deliver nonverbal communications. Use nonverbal signals to match up with your words. Nonverbal communication should reinforce what is being said, not contradict it. If you say one thing but your body language says something else, your listener will likely feel you're being dishonest. For example, you can say yes while shaking your head no. Adjust your nonverbal signals according to the context. The tone of your voice, for example, should be different when you're addressing a child when you're addressing a group of adults. Similarly, take into account the emotion state and cultural background of the person you're interacting with. Use body language to convey positive feelings, even when you're not actually experiencing them. them. If you're nervous about the situation, a job interview, important presentation, or first date, for example, you can use positive body language to signal confidence, even though you're not feeling it. Instead of tentatively entering a room with your head down, eyes averted, and sliding into a chair, trying standing up, trying staying tall with your shoulder back, smiling and maintaining eye contact, and delivering a firm handshake, it will make you feel more self-confident and made to put the other person out at ease. Effective communication skill 3. Managing stress. In small doses, stress can help you perform under pressure. However, when stress becomes constant and overwhelming, it can hamper effective communication by disrupting your capacity to think clearly and clearly and creatively, and act appropriately. When you're stressed, you're more likely to misread other people and send confusing or put off nonverbal signals and steps into unhealthy knee-jerk patterns of behavior. How many times have you felt stressed during a disagreement with your spouse, kids, boss, friend, or coworkers, and then said or done something you later regretted? If you can quickly relieve stress and return to a calm state, you'll not only avoid such regrets, but in many cases, you'll also help to calm the other person as well. It's only when you're in a calm, relaxed state that you'll be able to know whether the situation requires a response or whether the other person's signals indicates it would be better to remain silent. Quick stress relief for effective communication. When stress strikes, you can always temper it by taking time out to meditate or go for a run, especially if you're in the middle of a meeting with your boss or an argument with your spouse, for example. By learning to quickly reduce stress in the moment so you can safely face any strong emotions you're experiencing, regulate your feelings and behave appropriately. When you know how to maintain a relaxed, energized state or awareness, even when something upsetting happens, you can remain emotional, available, and engaged. To deal with stress during communication, recognize it when you're becoming stressed. Your body will let you know if you're stressed as you communicate. Are your muscles or your stomach tight or sore, and your hands clenched? Is your breath shallow? Are you forgetting to breathe? Take a moment to calm down and manage stress by taking a few breaths, changing the relaxing muscle, or recalling a soothing sensor-rich image. For example, the best way to rapidly and reliably relieve stress is through the sense, sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. But each person responds different to sensor input, so you need to find things that smooth you. Look for humor in the situation. When used appropriately, humor is a great way to relieve stress when communicating. When you or those around you start talking things too seriously, find a way to lighten the mood by sharing a joke or amusing story. Be willing to compromise. Sometimes if you can both bend a little, you'll be able to find a happy middle ground that reduces the stress levels for everyone concerned. If you believe that the other person cares much more about something than you think, compromise may be easier for you and a good investment in the future of the relationship. Agree to disagree if necessary, and take time away from the situation so everyone can calm down. Take a quick break and move away from the situation. Go for a stroll outside if possible, or spend a few minutes meditating. physical movement or finding a quiet place or regaining your balance can quickly reduce stress. Effective communication skills. 4. Emotion awareness. Emotion plays an important role in the way we communicate at home and work. It's the way you feel more than the way you think that motivates you to communicate or to make decisions. The way you respond to emotionally driven nonverbal clues affect both how you understand other people and how they understand you. If you are out of touch with your feelings, you don't understand how you feel or why you feel that way. You will have a hard time communicating your feelings and needs to others. This can result in a frustration, misunderstanding, and conflict. When you don't address what's really bothering you, you often become embroiled in petty squabbles. Instead, arguing with your spouse about how the towel should be hung, for example, or with a co-worker about whose turn it is to restock the copper. Emotion awareness provides you the tools needed for understanding both yourself and other people. Then the real message they are communicating to you, although knowing your feelings, simply many people ignore or try to sedate strong emotions like anger, sadness, and fear. But your ability to communicate depends on being connected to these feelings. If you are afraid to strong emotion, if you insist on communicating only on a rational level, it will impair your ability to fully understand others, creatively problem solving, resolve conflicts, or build an affectionate connection with someone. How emotional awareness can improve effective communication. Emotional awareness, the conscious of your moment-to-moment emotional experience and the ability to manage all your feelings appropriately is the base of the effective communication. Emotional awareness helps you understand and emphasis with what is really troubling others. Understand yourself, including what's really troubling you and what you really want. Stay motivated to understand and emphasize with the person you're interacting with, even if you don't like them or their message. Communicate clearly and effectively, even when delivering negative message. Build strong trust and rewarding relationships. Think creatively, solve problems, and solve conflicts. Effective communication requires both thinking and feeling. When emotional awareness is strong developed, you'll know what you're feeling without having to think about it, and you'll be able to use these emotion clues to understand what someone is really communicating to you and act accordingly. The goal of effective communication is to find a healthy balance between your interact and your emotions, between thinking and feeling. Emotional awareness is a skill you can learn. Emotional awareness is a skill that, with patience and practice, you can learn at any time of life. You can develop emotional awareness by learning how to get in touch with difficult emotions and manage uncomfortable feelings, including anger, sadness, fear, disgust, surprise, and joy. When you know how to do this, you can remain in control of your emotion and behavior, even in a very challenging situation, and communicate more clearly and effectively.